Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Mystery Knitalong with myself, Neil, and...
Hello, I'm Shauna.
And what week are we on now with the Rujuu Knitalong? Is it week
Clue
4,
5
5?
just came out, yeah.
So Shauna, tell us about the Rujuu, because last week I completely forgot to tell everyone about it. So
if you are new here or you don't know what's going on, which is totally fine, we are the Mystery Knit-along channel, and we are knitting along with different mystery knits. The first one we're doing, which is this one, is the Rujuu by Zaneteknits. This is her 3rd annual mystery yoke-along, and we're both doing the cardigan version. There was an option for either a cardigan or a pullover.
Brilliant. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, I couldn't have said it better. Before we get into the Rujuu, how's your week been? Because I know you've had a few changes, haven't you, at home?
It has been a week. Without going too deep into it, we have a new family member. We adopted a dog. Let me see real quick. I didn't plan this, but I'm gonna see if I can find a good photo. Well, here's a good one. I'm holding her. She's about 10 years old. She's a Chihuahua mix, and her name is Nina. So it's been a bit of an adjustment period because our other dogs they're very welcoming. She is a little unsure, which I understand because the whole situation is unsure to her, unknown. And she just spent about a week or so with another foster. So I don't know that she feels like this is a permanent situation yet. So
do you know anything about her history beforehand, or did they not tell you that?
What I was told, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the foster told me her understanding was that the dog had previously belonged to a lady who got dementia. The dog was then passed around to a couple family members and then somehow ended up back with the lady with dementia. And then I don't know the situation of how the dog ended up at the shelter, whether or not it was seized, because obviously that wouldn't be a good environment, or if it was turned over. But either way, it ended up at the shelter.
Oh, it's a shame for dogs, isn't it, when things like that happen, because they don't understand, do they? You know, obviously they don't, but you want to kind of tell them and say, you know, this is what's happened, but you know they won't understand.
Yeah, no.
Hopefully she'll settle in really well, because you've had other dogs be introduced to existing dogs before, haven't you? So it's not like this is the first time.
Through my work, I've brought several dogs home because we have a kennel at our city, but it doesn't have heat or anything. So in the winter, if we have a dog that needs fostered or kenneled, I'll bring them home sometimes, as long as they're friendly, you know, because it's nice to have them in an environment with heat. And so I'll bring them home for the night and then bring them back the next day, just in case the owner comes forward. And that's how I ended up with Ollie, because I did that for about a week straight. And then finally we figured out who the owner was, and they surrendered the dog, which Ollie's my little love. So I'm very happy about that.
So you think Nina's going to fit in okay, do you? You think it's just
I still don't know. I hope so. There's been a little bit of aggression on her part towards the other dogs, which is just so weird. We're out walking them on a leash and they bump into her and she's totally fine. But in the house, she will go and walk near them and then growl. And so it's like, I don't understand that. So if anybody knows anything about dogs, I mean, I think I do know a bit about dogs, but I've not seen this kind of behavior before. So hopefully it's just a, you know, figuring out who's alpha and, you know, getting used to each other and all that. But I don't know. My dogs so far are very sweet to her, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's as long as your existing dogs are okay. That's the main thing, isn't it? Because you know, because you've got one of your dogs is quite old, isn't she? She's getting on a bit now, isn't she?
Fiona will be 16 in May.
Wow.
But this isn't a dog podcast. We should probably talk about Rujuu.
Yeah, I just got completely waylaid there. I could talk about dogs and cats for hours and hours. So the Rujuu. So we both completed Clue 4. That's right, isn't it? How did you find Clue 4?
Clue 4 for me, although it did take me about 8 hours total, it was pretty fast, I guess, like as in it felt like it moved along really well. We weren't dealing with increases or decreases. None of the floats were too long. The patterns were pretty memorizable. I just really didn't have any issues with it.
The only thing I wouldn't say I struggled with, but the only thing that kind of was a bit of a hiccup every time, and it's my own fault, because I think we talked about this last week, is the seam stitch. Is, excuse me, because I need to sort it out in my own head how to do this better, because by the time I do that, we'll finish the sweater anyway. No point now. But when I get to that seam stitch, I have to kind of work backwards on that bit of the repeat because it doesn't flow. You know, there is that edge, isn't there? And it's kind of just tripped me up a few times, and a few times I've kind of carried on doing, because I've memorized the motif at that point, and then realized when I've got to the next stitch marker, I've got to go back now because I shouldn't have finished that whole motif. But
what do you remember off the top of your head what chart numbers you are at the seams?
I think it's very close. I think I'm only 2 out. I think out, and that's why I think I keep getting caught out, because what's happened a couple of times, for some reason, the stitch marker that I've been putting there, it keeps falling off. The others haven't, but I must be thinking about it too much or not thinking about it enough. I don't one or the other. But as I seem to approach it, there's no stitch marker there, and then I'll look down and there's a stitch marker on my lap. Or I don't know what I'm doing. There must be something subconsciously, you know, sabotaging it for me. But apart from that, I found it much easier because it's a repeat motif, kind of, isn't it? It was slightly different to the one, not the last one. The one.
It was very similar to Clue 2. So not exactly the same, but for all intents and purposes, it's supposed to be the same. Yeah.
Yeah. And how much easier without the increases, because those increases, I personally don't like the twisted loop increases because of what they feel like when you knit them on the next round. So it was really nice not to have them for that particular motif. And I've got into a rhythm with it, because with it being the biggest size, I was starting to get to that point where I was reaching the halfway point, because I've left the halfway stitch marker in on purpose. So I thought I'll keep it there, because then I kind of know, oh, I'm at halfway. I've only got to do this bit again, you know. So at the halfway point, I think, oh, I've got all that way to go. But then when I start the next bit of that point, I feel energized to get to the end. So I'm finding it's working at the moment.
Yeah.
So when are we, do we want to show them now, or?
Well, before we do that, real quick, let me remind you that, oh, nope, over here. We have the QR code for the Telegram group. If anybody wants to join us, it's not too late to join. This is not going to be our only mystery knit. So if you are wanting to look at this one, at what people are posting, pictures, and jump in there, or if you just want to get a head start for the next mystery that we're going to do, go ahead and join the group.
Yeah, because we are going to have a pretty seamless transition into a new one.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit stressful, maybe.
Well, yeah, I think without giving anything away, after reading Clue 5, I did have a bit of a moment of panic, where I thought, oh, I think I might have taken on too much. But then afterwards I thought, no, it'll work out. You know,
it will.
We can talk about that in a bit.
Well, you know, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but I have finished the 5th chart. So I finished technically Clue 5, but not really, because I haven't finished the body. So I have a lot more.
There's always one.
Well, you know, it only took me 3.5 hours. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. I think it's funny because you're like the fastest and brightest in the class, and I'm like the slowest and dimmest in the class, and everyone else comes somewhere in between us. So it kind of works out, doesn't it? Because I am pretty much always the last one to finish the clue.
You remember my picture from the 2026 calendar, Hermione?
Oh yeah,
that probably is very accurate.
Yeah, I think we had like 10 months to do these pictures for a calendar, and I think Shauna had hers done. Was it the October before? I can't remember now. It was really early, wasn't it?
I had the knitting done early. It took me a little bit longer to do the photos, but I like to stay on top of things. I do not like to procrastinate, because that to me is stressful. So
yeah, we are so different in a lot of ways, because I am I do have leanings towards like what you're saying there, because when I was at university, I handed my dissertation in like 2 weeks early. Everybody else was doing an overnighter, you know, to finish it. So certain things I will do. But then other things I have to leave right till the last minute, and I don't have a reason. It just depends on what is happening, I think, at the time as to whether I'm more like you or more, lax. I forgot what Archer. God, his name just eluded me then for a second. Yeah, just in case people didn't know, I'm doing the biggest size, just in case you didn't know. Right.
Yeah. Do we want to show?
Yeah, go on. Do you want to go first, or shall I go first? You go first.
Oh, you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first this time. Right. First of all, I'll show you. Let me get them right. So for the British people, this is highly insulting. So that's V for victory. That's an FU, just so you know, for Americans. So Shauna sent me these stitch toppers after last week. Me saying
I didn't know.
Yeah. So Shauna's being horrible to me here, everybody.
No,
tell her off. No, she didn't know.
Peace, Neil.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a joke insult. Apparently, Annie, our friend Annie, who you'll see in the montage later, her husband is really into archery, I think she said, and apparently this comes from the Battle of Agincourt with the French, and it's to do with the archers. So we were so good, they were pulling the arches like that or whatever, the archery bow things, and then they were like that to the French, saying, look what we did with our fingers. And I think she said that they French, if they caught them, they used to chop the fingers off, but I might have just made that up because I can't remember whether she said that or not. Anyway, so that's the background. So we really are going off topic. That's the background behind them. And so let's have a look.
But you're not losing any stitches, so they're working.
Absolutely, yeah. How did I live without them? That's what I'm thinking now. I don't know why I never had them.
I think they've only been around, I mean, like in the knitting world for I would say 5 years or so is when I started seeing them. Maybe not even that long, but yeah, I don't know what we did. Well, there were other versions. They just weren't fun.
Yeah, bits of plasticine and things like that, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, I tell you what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have a day where I pick out beard hair and cat fur, because one of my cats has got white fur and I've got a white beard, and like every other row there's white in there. So, right, so this is from the top. So that's my, oops, I don't know if you can see. I'll need to pull that down one. It's getting big now and getting heavy as well.
Yeah, you know what I noticed?
It
is harder to manipulate the whole sweater as you go around now. It's getting much more difficult.
Oh, wait till we do the sleeves. Then it's really going to be hard work.
No, I have a trick for the sleeves.
Oh, right. You'll have to tell us that in a second. Yeah, so that's my Clue 5. And what I've noticed, I think I said this last week as well, is that my colour work technique is definitely improving as I go along. So I almost feel like the first lot of colour work I did is pretty, rubbish compared. But I really love this cardigan. I can't wait to wear it, because when I've tried it on, it just feels right when I put it on. And I think this is the only other, I think I've mentioned this before as well, the only other designer's sweater that I felt that way about is James Watt's. So there's something, and I don't think I got gauge now, because I was looking at it thinking, I think the reason it fits is because my gauge has gone tight again. Because there's no way that this should fit me, because it's way bigger than I actually am. But it does fit. So maybe either I'm bigger than I think I am, or, like people who are anorexic and they look at themselves and see a fat person in the mirror. I obviously look in the mirror and see a thin person, or I've knitted it tighter, which either way it's working. So I definitely will knit this again, but maybe with different motifs, so it's not exactly the same, because the actual garment I'm really, really liking.
I mean, you could knit it in just stockinette or stripes or something, and take out the color work altogether if you wanted.
True, yeah. Did I tell you I showed it to my I don't know, yes, I must have talked about it. So I went to a color analyst to have my colors done, and found out I'm a cool winter. So I deliberately chose the colors that are supposedly my colours. And I sent her a picture of me wearing it so far, and she said that it's absolutely spot on in terms of colour, but also the size of the motif is perfect as well. So often with Fair Isle stuff, it's very small, isn't it? And I think for someone who's big, the motifs need to be bigger to be in scale with yourself. So anyway, she's asked if when I've finished it, if I can send her some photos so she can use it on her socials, I think, to show how people should do things. I don't know. I don't know how, you know, I don't quite know, unless she's doing it to say, look, don't do this.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, enough about that.
It seems to me quite often color work is done in a fingering weight or a very thin yarn, because obviously it makes for a thicker fabric and it's going to be warmer and heavier and all that. So it makes sense to do a smaller motif in a thin yarn and a bigger motif in a thick yarn, to me anyways. I don't know if that's like standard or anything, but it would make sense.
I'd be interested to know if anybody's ever done a worsted weight colorwork sweater like this, but using that blown yarn. You know, the one that's very light. Because I don't know how that works in terms of steeking or sticking with itself. But I bet that would
work fine
if it works.
It would work fine. I've not done it,
I might do that.
It just acts as yarn. And like I told you, for the 100th time, my practice steek thing was acrylic, slippery acrylic. So I'm convinced if it will work with that in the crochet reinforcement, that it would work for really any yarn, I think.
Yeah, we should do that, shouldn't we? We should all do a little acrylic test with a swatch, you know, just to make us all feel better about it. You know what I mean?
I don't think I saved mine. I should have.
Yeah, I'm not worried about doing it. I know you're not worried about it, but I'm actually really looking forward to cutting it. Yeah. Because I can't quite imagine. See, what I can't see at the moment is how that button band, when we add it, is going to join to the collar at the top.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, I just can't visualize that. Yeah. Are you ready for yours? Yeah, make you big. There you go.
So let's see. Up to clue 4. It's hard to show because it's not exactly straight. There we go. There's up to clue 4. And then I have done clue 5's chart as well, which is just a repeat of clue 3. So yeah, it seems like nothing's really much of a surprise now, which is kind of a bummer. Like, I do like the symmetry. I like the repeating of it. But here's a question. So I'm a little bit torn on what to do. I tried this on. It's probably an inch or so above my jeans waistband at this point. So the pattern for clue 5 has us repeating chart 4 if we want extra length. For me, chart 4 was 5.5 inches from top to bottom.
So, and is that including the cars or the bricks or both?
All of it. Cars, bricks, all of it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I could just do the cars and then this chart and then maybe the ribbing. I'm just really torn because I think if I add the 5.5 inches plus 2 inches of ribbing, I feel like it's going to be hitting me at the widest part of my hip. But then somebody in our Telegram, someone in our Telegram group pointed out that a lot of times a cardigan like this, especially like a big oversized heavy cardigan, you want it to be longer. And so I can see it both ways. I'm really unsure because I have not really knit anything like this before. I know where I like a lot of my other sweaters to land. However, I often finish the sweater thinking it's at the right spot. And then after wearing it for a bit, I'm like, I wish it was a little bit longer. So I don't know. Zanette did post a picture of hers finished through the body, not with sleeves yet. And hers is hitting her pretty long as well. But, you know, she's quite thin. So I think she can pull it off. And
she did one repeat, didn't she? One motif repeat extra.
She did the entire, the entire clue 4 again. And then she did ribbing. So I don't know. So, that's probably what I'm going to do, even if it turns out a bit long. I think
you have got some other options. I mean, we talked about this offline, didn't we? But some of the things that I thought about was you could have a a row of the cars, a row of the bricks next to each other, but then you thought it might be too busy or too heavy, I think you said.
Yeah, because I mean, everything else is broken up where the color's broken up. I think it would look a bit strange to have them on top of each other.
And then, or the other thing is to use something out of that neck motif at the top, perhaps the bit that you didn't use before, because because your neck motif, there's
Mine's
part
short,
of mine that you didn't knit, isn't there?
Right.
I think it's that one last bit, isn't? So you could do that at the bottom, perhaps.
There's a question for all of you. If I was to use chart 1 again for the bottom or parts of chart 1, so you see how you have majority dark up here, light, dark, light, dark. If I went back to this, it'd be dark again. So it'd be dark and dark. Would you reverse the colors of this where I'd have the white be the background and the black be the motifs? Or would you keep it the same? I don't know. It's so hard.
See, I think if I'd have known how it was all going to go, because we did the same, ours are the same light and dark, aren't they? As in, we've done the first chart of each clue. I would have done it the other way around because I prefer lighter things at the top and darker things towards the bottom. So in my mind, it kind of, it feels more balanced to me that things look heavier at the bottom than they do at the top.
But this is going to be my ribbing, so it really doesn't matter.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter then, does it? I mean, one of the things I was thinking is, but you'll hate this idea. I know you'll hate this idea, is I wonder whether it's time to pause while you do the sleeves. And then
I do hate that idea, but it's not a bad idea.
but then, you know, you can put it on with the sleeves finished.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming that's how we're going to do the next clues. And then you'll kind of have an idea because you'll then know what is on this part of the arm. Because so far we only know what's to here. So obviously that motif has to finish. And then I'm wondering what motif comes next, if any.
I think the arm is going to just mimic the body. That's my guess.
I was wondering whether the arm would mimic that top clue, you know, with the smaller motifs maybe, or at least near the cuff, if not the whole arm.
I guess it could be completely different. I don't know. I mean, quite often you see the color work just kind of keep going. And the one that we did last year, it was a portion of the color work.
It kind of stopped, didn't it? Mid-arm. Was it about the elbow? Did it stop?
Yeah.
At least then, if you wait, at least then you'll get an idea of how the arms are going to look. Because if you've got like big arms with you on your jumper, you know, like because it's going to be more coat-like, then do you really want it to be too short on the waist? You know, you might want it longer.
Yeah.
But I get why you might not want to do it, because I know you like to get it done and then you're ready
that
for the next
in my mind, that puts me behind. I don't like being behind. But for sure, I am going to at least finish the cars. You can't tell they're not cars yet, but I will at least finish that again down here. I don't know. And maybe by then I'll kind of have an idea, but
I think if there were,
sure.
I mean, I'm assuming there won't be any pockets. I'm assuming for the cardigan, that is.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if it's so on a long cardigan, I always think pockets would be on them. You know what I mean? But I know they don't have to. I know that doesn't make any sense, but yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna have the same problem because I have a long torso, and I think I'm gonna need at least one repeat. But I think I might have that extra inch that I need to find somewhere from something. Because I can't bear things that are too short.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I hate it. Yeah, because it's funny, isn't it? That length of a garment is the thing that annoys me the most. If it's too long, it annoys me. If it's too short, it annoys me. Whereas if something's a bit tight or a little bit loose, it doesn't seem to bother me as much. Do you know what I mean? It's the length that gets me. So what do you think you're going to do?
I don't know. I'm for sure today I will at least knit the cars. And then I don't know, I might just kind of see what other people are doing over in the school group. I did get a comment back from Jeanette because I posted over in school about my dilemma. And her answer was, you don't have to knit all of clue 4. you know, so you could stop maybe midway or whatever, or, you know, you wouldn't have to do the bricks. And my initial thought was, because I am getting this third stripe of the orange, because I have it here, here, and then I'll have it again. I was kind of hoping for the symmetry of 3 of the brick motifs as well. But I don't like as much the thought of the bricks at the ribbing, if that makes sense. I don't know why.
Right.
I like it going from the color work into the ribbing, and I think that's because it will look like this, you know, because we don't have this right before that. So that's my thought. I think with just the 2 brick sections, it would be fine.
Yeah, because I think the thing about that is that it's things generally, not always, generally look better as odd numbers. You know, like if you have 3 vases together, it looks better than 4 vases, and 5 vases looks better than 4 vases. So in terms of stripes, I think an odd number does look better, but nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say she's got 6 stripes and not 5.
Right.
You know, nobody cares. But I just think from an aesthetic point of view, it is more pleasing to the eye for some reason. I don't know why. I'm sure somebody else watching will know. Yeah, it's tricky. So one of them in one of the motifs, was it a half motif anyway? I'm just trying to think. I'm sure.
No.
Why did I think that?
I mean, I guess technically clue 1 for me is a half motif, but not really. The other ones are full.
See that very bottom one of the collar. Sorry, I don't know if you can see. It's hard to see there, isn't it? Is that better? Can you see it that way?
Yeah.
That's probably in total with the dark border around it about an inch. On mine, it might be different on yours. I mean, so would that work, do you think, just that extra inch, or do you think it's going to look silly being so small compared to the others?
I don't know. That's the problem. I just can't really figure out how much more I would need. And just because when I tried on and I put the tape measure down 5.5 inches, you know, that's not really exactly where the sweater will land either. So, because, you know, obviously my body takes up room. It's not just, you know, straight down. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll
do you use superwash or non-superwash?
Non-superwash.
So it's not going to stretch at all.
It shouldn't.
It may, but see, the other thing to consider is it's going to be an ordinary cuff at the bottom, isn't it? If I remember right, it's not a fold over cuff, is it?
Nope. Which I thought was a little weird, right? To do the top folded, but not the bottom.
Yeah. See, I wonder whether if you did a fold over cuff, you could make it a little bit longer than normal, and that might offset what's missing in the color work, maybe.
I think even if it wasn't folded, I could still make it longer. I don't think because each of these motifs, I don't know, without having a ruler here, I would say the color work section is probably about 3 inches or so.
Right.
And if that's the case, if you did a 3-inch ribbing instead of a 2-inch, I don't think that's going to look weird.
Oh, just hold it up again. So you know the oh god, I can't remember. So not the one you've just knitted, the one before it.
Clue
so
4?
Not that, yeah, that one. So you see that very middle bit, like the 4.
Yeah.
It's like a cross on its side, isn't it? Could you not take that part of the motif and repeat that at the very bottom and try and miss off the top and bottom part of it?
I certainly could.
Daft?
However, what if I do that and then like, oh, I really actually did need the extra length? I don't know.
Well, you're screwed then, aren't you?
Exactly. We had a question here. It says, is the color work running the full length of the cardigan and the sleeves probably the same, you think? That's a lot of color work. Yes, it is. The full body is color work. And I imagine the sleeves would be too, because at this point, I think it would look a little bit funny to have just plain non-color work stockinette. even if you did stripes. I just think it wouldn't be quite right. So I think we're in for all color work. And I literally had the thought this morning, like, I think I'm kind of ready to be done with color work.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I think was it the first week when I said, oh, I need to do more color work. I've really enjoyed doing this color work. Now I'm like, I need to do brioche. I need to do anything other than color. I've enjoyed doing it though.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to our next mystery Knitalong, because obviously I think there's going to be a lot of just plain garter stitching that with just, you know. But one thing that's still puzzling me, and you brought it up a week or two ago, is where's this section that she said would be using a lot of yarn?
Well, so the only thing I can think is that color work uses more yarn, but I am curious. So at the end of clue 4, I had used exactly 300 grams of yarn. That was for everything. So probably, I mean, this is such little, the colorful section, such little bit. So if it's like 120 grams of each of the white and the black, for just simplicity's sake, I don't know what that yardage is, because I don't usually do worsted weight very much. But 300 grams of worsted weight, what is that like?
Oh, in terms
like
of
600,
yards?
Yeah, 600 yards.
Is it about 100 yards, 100 meters per 100 grams for worsted?
No.
Oh, for 50 gram. Would it be about 50 to 60 yards then per 50 grams? Would that be right?
Yeah.
So about 600 yards then, or 600 meters.
Yeah, so I don't know. I cannot. That seems like we have not used near enough of our yarn, but I have seen a statistic. I don't know how accurate it is, but somebody had said that in a sweater, the front uses up about a third, the back uses up about a third, and then the sleeves use a third of your total yarn. And so,
yeah, because a sleeve is almost like one half of your sweater, isn't it? Almost, but just tapering. At the top of it, it's almost the width of the front, almost. Jan Liz Knits says it's also very dense at the gauge for worsted weight. Yeah, I wonder whether she did it at that weight so people could use DK weight as well.
Definitely,
yeah. And also last week, or was it the week before, I was talking about that I'm doing mine with 8-ply, and I said it was worsted weight, but 8-ply is actually DK weight. But this 8-ply definitely is worsted weight in terms of the thickness of it. So I think it's categorized as DK, but it's definitely worsted.
Yeah, my white is technically Aran, and even though this is like a tight gauge, it doesn't feel like it's bulletproof or anything like that. Like the fabric feels fine. So I don't know. It's working.
I feel like this sweater is the sweater you're going to wear when you go to Iceland. You know what I mean? I seriously
Are we going
to
Iceland?
By the way.
I missed that memo.
Yeah, our last video on the Rujuu, we're going to be doing it in Reykjavik.
Oh man,
Shauna doesn't know yet. No, it's because I've been talking to somebody else about going. We're thinking about going there for like a long weekend in Reykjavik, because I've always wanted to go, but it's obviously I only want to go there for the knitting. You know what I mean? I know I'll just be wanting to go to the wool shops and get a lopi or whatever it's called. We had another couple of questions coming, didn't we? Tonya says, I'm doing the pullover and I will not be doing the full sleeves. I'm doing short sleeves or 3/4. Yeah, that's the beauty of doing a pullover, isn't it? That you have got that choice. But I think with a cardigan, I don't think we'd get away with it, really, would we? Doing short sleeves.
Well, that being said, and this very different style, but the confectionery cardigan that I did with my Advent, that was designed to have half sleeves.
That's true.
So, I mean, you could do it. The thing about that one was the sleeve width was quite oversized. So almost kind of like, Stephen West Penguono or something like that. It was that kind of style. Whereas this one, with buttons or a zipper, if you want to do that. I mean, you can make anything work, but I haven't really seen too many thick sweaters with short sleeves. But you know what? You do you, and you make the sweater that you want to wear, and you can start a style.
Well, you would find what we call tank tops. I think you call them vests. You would find those in worsted without sleeves. So you're literally just talking about that little bit, aren't you? That you don't see very often.
That would
So
be all right.
it would work. Thinking about for me, it's just the cardigan thing. I think, would a cardigan work of that density? I know what you mean about the one you've just knitted, that long, because it's quite long and sleek, isn't it? And it kind of hangs. There's a drape to it that this doesn't have. So Carrie said she's done about 10 inches of the body, and she's going to do chart 5 and then do stockinette for the rest of the body. Ooh. Now, I'm trying to remember. We're going to see in a minute, because Carrie's in our video that we show. I can't remember whether Carrie's background colour is dark or light, because I wonder with this whether the dark or the light would work better for doing the stockinette, because it's going to be quite top busy, isn't it? You know, depending on what colours you've chosen. But then I suppose you're not going to have to do much. I mean, how much more than 10 inches? What's the average? Is it 17 inches on average from the underarm to including?
No, she said to knit. Well, I don't know. She said to knit to 14 inches and then start your ribbing.
Right.
That's what's recommended in the pattern. And see, that's why I'm thinking to do the whole pattern repeat, because that will only put me at like 14.5 inches plus ribbing. And that's where I'm getting. Right. That just seems like a lot, the plus ribbing part, but.
Annie has said that she's done Aran weight and it's a little big, as I didn't want it to be too stiff on smaller needles. Yeah, but you're going to need that, Annie, because Annie lives on the Never Eat Shredded Wheat. She lives on the east coast of the UK, where the North Sea is, and she's on the actual beach, and it is freezing in the winter because of the wind that comes in from the coast. So you'll need a big, cuddly, warm cardigan stroke sweater.
Yes. I'm on the coast too, and I know that wind. It is cold.
Yeah, and Annie takes, I mean, I don't know that you do the same, but she takes her dogs for a walk on that beach so many times a day, and she must freeze when it's really, really cold. And we're supposed to be having snow. It hasn't happened yet. Well, I don't know whether Annie's had snow, but we're supposed to be having snow all across the UK at the moment.
Wow.
Oh, so Jan Liz says, like a robe or a kimono. So I think that's in reference to your, what was it called?
Yeah, the confectionery cardigan was more that style, because it didn't have buttons, it didn't have a zipper, no closure or anything.
Yeah, and Annie says in the UK you need sleeves. Yeah, you need sleeves to wipe your nose on when your nose is running in the wind.
I don't think wool is going to absorb your snot very well.
So we've done Clue 4. I'm going to miss this project, although I can't wait to finish it. I'm going to miss this project because there's been something, but then I think it's just the whole nature of what we're doing. I'm sure that's going to carry over into our next project. So have we covered the Rujuu so far?
Well, we should show our video of everyone who's posted a picture, and I'm going to remind you to remove the QR code. Neil noticed that was kind of cutting off some of the names for people's pictures.
It's a good job Shauna's here. I'd never do half of these things. Okay, so here's our video of I hope I got everyone's pictures, by the way. I know Archer, I didn't have a picture for Archer or Emily if you're watching, so I don't know whether you sent one. So apologies if you did and I've missed it. But I didn't do it on purpose. To believe in. I still can't get over how good they all are because they all look so different yet the same. You know,
Yeah, I
and
love
it'd be
it.
great if we could all go somewhere at the end and all be wearing it. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah,
as well,
let's all go to Iceland.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, it's further for you to go, isn't it?
Yes.
Just get the chat back up.
Archer
So Tonya says,
oh, go ahead.
oh, sorry. She's going to get snow next week. I'm skeptical. Yeah, I've kind of been hoping for snow for about 5 years now because I do actually quite like snow. Archer says he started over due to the split for the sleeves issue. It kept me up all night, so I ripped all. Oh, wow. Wow. Condolences. What more can you say? Oh.
I hope it's going better this time. I mean, as painful as it can be very worth it to rip out and start over if things are really not going the way that you want them to. Because ultimately, we all want a sweater we can wear.
Absolutely. Yeah. Although it'd look nice just to see it, but then what good is that at the end of the day? Yeah. So yeah, you've done the right thing, even though it just makes me think. Because I know me, if I'd had to do that, I just don't think I would have restarted. So I good on you for.
Oh yes, you would have, because I'm not doing this by myself.
Well, if I'd have restarted it, I'd have made a baby version and just. And Tricky Knight says, you notice the cars sometimes look like circles depending on tension. Yeah, because yours definitely look more like cars than mine do. Have you noticed that? Hang on, let me find mine. Oh God, I'm knocking everything over. But I thought I'd done mine wrong for a while because yours did look like cars, whereas mine, I don't know what mine looked like. I don't know if you can you see?
Yours are just so dark; they're harder to see.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it is about the color, isn't it, more than anything?
I think it is.
But yours is so much neater than mine as well, and I think that's a combination of your tension being better and the yarn that you've used. Because obviously, I think mine might be a bit more rustic than yours. Obviously, it's
mine's
not
rustic.
my fault. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, but it looks really, really soft.
I mean,
yours,
the singles are soft, but I think they're still non-superwash. But the others are, especially the Lion brand. Oh my gosh, it doesn't get much more rustic than this.
Oh, it's Fisherman's, isn't it? That is quite scratchy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Take that back.
The part I don't like about this yarn is that there are little guard hairs in it, and I'm finding myself picking them out all the time. Now, of course, I can't find one, but as I'm knitting with it, oh my gosh, these little white, very brittle little hairs.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, my one I think is going to be a little bit scratchy, but I'm going to see how it washes because I think it'll go a lot softer when it's washed because the swatch did.
I mean, you'll be wearing it over something, so I don't think it'll be bad. It's
just sort of here, but hopefully my beard will sort of cushion, there'll be a barrier between my neck and but I'm going to wear it anyway. God, I don't care how itchy it is, I'm wearing it. Oh, Jan says, I'm saying Jan, I hope you don't mind me calling you Jan. It might not be your real name, but she says she's not looking forward to colour work on a sleeve. Yeah, let me tell you my trick for doing sleeves. So it's going to be a bit difficult because I can't really show you, but obviously there's my sleeve opening. So I put what would be the seam of the sleeve, so the under the arm, I put that facing towards me, and I start knitting around this way. And as I get to a point where I need to go back, I literally just flip the sweater like this, and I start knitting the second half. And then as the sleeve gets longer, you have to twist it less. But I'm literally just going back and forth. I'm not twisting the whole sweater, and it makes a huge difference. I do that whether it's color work, plain old stockinette, stripes, whatever. That's exactly how I knit a sleeve. I do prefer to knit sleeves first, if I'm being honest, but because I didn't have the option here, it is what it is. But that technique works whether you do the sleeves first or you do them last. I tend to do one, if it's a top down, I do the split for the sleeves, and then I tend to do one sleeve, then I do the body, and then I do the second sleeve to try and get over that second sleeve thing. But one thing that I'm not sure of whether to get some small length cable needles to do it, but I know that's going to hurt my hands, or whether to do magic loop, because I'm quite all right with magic loop now. After hating it for years, I don't mind it. So I'm not sure.
For this, you'd want at least a 12-inch, I think. I mean, that's a big sleeve opening.
Yeah, it's as big as the neck, isn't it? When you first start it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was I going to ask about the sleeves? Oh, that's yeah. Do you think that the next clue is going to be the first bit of that arm and the first bit of that arm, and then the final clue is the final bit of the arm? Or do you think it's just going to be one clue for the entire arm that you do twice? One this week, one this coming week, one the week after?
That's a good question. I don't know, because I thought that we were getting 7 clues. But I know she's definitely said it's 7 weeks. But is that getting the week 6 clue and carrying that over into week 7? Because I saw somebody post something over in school and they were thinking it was 6 clues. And so I commented back and I said, well, I thought it was 7. So now I'm really confused and I don't know. But we still have to knit button bands. And so that would probably be, that would be clue 7 would be like button bands and a steek, I would think.
So do you think it's, I'll have to reread the very first thing, but do you think it's 6 clues for the sweater, 7 clues for the cardigan?
I still thought it, well, no, because I think she just says 7 clues. Let me see.
Oh, while you're looking for that,
yeah, this is what she says. You'll receive 7 weekly clues, 7 clues.
Right.
So I'm right. The other person was wrong.
Yeah, so there, if you're watching, you are right. Go and sit in the corner, sit on the naughty step and think about what you've done. Yeah, Liz says, are the sleeves balloon shape? The diagram looked like it. Maybe a hint. Oh, I hope not.
I don't know. She said that it's good for men and women, and I think a balloon sleeve. Well, although oftentimes, I don't know, that doesn't look too much like a balloon sleeve in the diagram to me, because if you're looking at the schematic like I am right now, she has it very narrow through the waist, which is how last year's was drawn as well. And I didn't do the waist shaping because I'm very up and down, so I don't really have much of a waist. So I think that's just why her diagram is drawn that way, but that's optional. So I believe if the sleeve is meant to be bigger, she'll probably have the option to also do a more fitted sleeve.
Yeah, I'm happy. Well, I don't know about other people, but I'm happy to work out my sleeve decreases anyway if it is a balloon sleeve, because it's, for me, I don't know whether it's the same on all sleeves, but it's usually every 6 rows is a decrease, and that does a good,
I think it depends on gauge. Sleeve. It just depends, because obviously if you're doing a fingering weight.
Forget about gauge.
Yeah, exactly. This is worsted. And I don't know how often you knit a worsted weight sweater, but.
Yeah, ignore me. Everything I ever say, by the way, people, just completely ignore. Because it's usually based on one thing only and one example only. So, yeah, it won't be 6 stitches for everybody anyway, thinking about it, because it depends on your size and it depends on the yarn. Yeah, so ignore that.
Don't worry, in the chat or on the replay, I'm keeping him in check.
So, Rujuu stuff. I think that's everything then, isn't it? I think
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we can talk about the. Isn't it funny how you're really, really invested in a project and then you start to get more excited by the new project that's coming up?
Shiny and new. So, who doesn't want shiny and new?
So Jeanette, I'm sorry, I'm not going off your project. I still love your project, but the shiny thing is over here and I'm kind of being distracted a little bit. Yeah, so our next one is going to be the Glo-along, isn't it? The Stephen West Glo-along shawl mystery knit along.
Mohair mobile.
Yeah, I read
I like Glo-along better. Or glow hair.
Yeah, glow hair. That's what everyone kept calling it, but it's not called glow hair, is it? Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to go, because it mentioned about how the mobile thing or mobile thing is hanging off things. And I thought, is it going to be bits that are hanging off threads all the way across? You know, I just can't picture it. But anyway, yeah. So
last year was beautiful. So I'm hoping it's nice.
Well, it's going to be interesting. However it looks, it's going to be fun to knit, probably, because his usually are. So even if it is something that I wouldn't wear, I'm not bothered, because the shawl that I knitted in October, I very much doubt I will ever wear it unless I'm freezing to death or whatever. But I really enjoyed knitting it mostly, although I did moan all the way through. So my only concern about Stephen West's is that I've kind of got used to Jeanette's way of giving us a bit of a breather. And I know with Stephen West, I don't think we're going to get a breather. I think it's going to be quite
because it's 4 weeks. It's going to be like 4 fast-paced weeks.
And I bet it's about the same amount of knitting as the sweater. You know, it's going to be, it might even be more actually than
I
the
bet
sweater.
It will be more because it's fingering and lace weight. So
yeah. Oh God, what have I agreed to do this for? Why? What?
Because
it's funny. I read in the comments of our chat where I think it was Beth. I don't know if Beth's watching today, but Beth was really surprised because she said, "Oh, I thought it was a hard no for Neil, this particular one, you know, this because it kind of was until we realised that it didn't overlap. Or if it does, it's not going to be much, is it? It's not overlapping by much."
I guess that just means our hard no's are kind of like, maybe no's.
Yeah, and I've got absolutely no willpower when it comes to somebody dangling a new pattern in front of me. It's like, oh, look at this, Neil.
I did give you free yarn, so.
Yeah, well, that's a story in itself, isn't it? I mean, this is how amazing are our two countries' postal services. Well, one of them's amazing, at least. I don't know which one.
It wasn't the post office, though. I sent it UPS, which was weirdly a few dollars less expensive than sending it through the post office, which I don't understand, but it got there fast.
Well, that's good. Yeah, so have you got yours there now? Have you got your colours? So this is for the Stephen West. So these were deep stash for you, weren't they? Have they been around for years?
Years.
So you So Shauna sent what day did you send them to me? Because it was only this week.
I balled these up, or balled up 35 grams of each last Friday after we recorded, and I sent them out with UPS around 1:30 my time. So last Friday, which I don't remember what day of the week that was or what number of the month that was, but last Friday.
And then I received them. Yes, was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday, wasn't it? I received
yesterday morning, yeah. So less than a week to get to the UK from Oregon, which is crazy.
Balled them up for me and everything. And I think, I've not looked, but I think that's the name of the colorway, is it? Yeah.
It has the type of yarn, which is Knit Picks Chroma lace, and it has the colorway name, so that you can keep it for your records.
Yeah, because I've realized I didn't know it was a single. Well, you said it was a single, but I hadn't, you know, when something doesn't quite sink in, because I love knitting with singles, and I don't know why. There's something about the softness of it when you're knitting with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether anyone else feels the same.
Well, yeah. And so even though it's not mohair, do you see how it is kind of like a little fuzzy?
Yeah, I think it's going to work really well. I really do. And I love the colors. The only one where is it? The only one I don't particularly like, but it'll work with all the others, is that one. But I know it's going to work, so I'm not, you know, I won't leave it out. That
you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, Neil.
Yeah, Shauna, I'm going to send this one back to you. I don't want this one. How dare you send me this one? No,
you're welcome.
I'm really ungrateful, don't I? Thank you very much for this. I can't believe you actually sent them, because I can't believe you sent them because it said you were going to. But so what are you going to mix with yours? What's your main color?
I don't have a skein here, but I'm just using an undyed sock weight. So it'll be white with all the blues and greens. I can't figure out which color it is that you don't like, because, you know, obviously they're gradient. So like, I just wound off from the outside, and truly you got what you got. I wasn't like gonna pick out certain colors or whatever. So
it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I know it's not that yellow, that mustardy color. Yeah. Or it's just that it's not in my color palette. That's the only reason. I'm just being silly. The rest of it is. The rest of it is because, and what I'm thinking of mixing mine with is this palette. This kind of, it's a very.
I didn't send you this one. This is a 6 skein that I have that I'm not going to use.
Oh wow! What's wrong with that one?
Well, it just doesn't go with the rest, I don't think.
Right. But I've chosen that color to go with yours. Now I think it's going to work.
Yeah, that'll go great.
It does feel a lot plumper, but then that's right, isn't it? It should do, shouldn't it? Because this is this lace weight? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
and this is fingering, but it should work. And I think it goes with them all.
It does.
Even,
and
yeah,
if you're holding that color you don't like so much with that, it's gonna, kind of override it a little bit, so it won't be as obvious.
How are you going to organize your colors? Are you just literally going to pick up a ball and that's your color one, then the next ball is color two, or are you going to really
well,
think
I'm
about
guessing he's going to have some kind of guidance once the clue comes out, the first clue, because usually he'll say, how to organize your yarns, or, lightest to darkest, or contrast, or however. So I'll go by whatever he says. And then granted, because it's a gradient, there might be times where there is less of that contrast than there's supposed to be. Colors might line up and be the same. And I don't care. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. And this one, I've realized I do have a skein of mohair in that color. So I might throw a bit of that in as well, just wherever, randomly.
You could always replace the color you don't like so much with that skein of mohair.
Could. I'm just being a bit silly with this, really, because I think when it's in there, I think it's going to look really good, because it's I don't dislike the color so much as it's just not my color. Do you follow me? You know what I mean?
It's going to be such a small percentage of the whole shawl that I don't think you're really going to see it too much.
Yeah, I bet there's only about that much of it, when in terms of depth, about an inch of that, I bet. But no, I'm really, really grateful for that, because it's been really good that our last two mystery knit-alongs we've not had to buy any yarn.
Yeah, that's great.
It's free. It's free
on the stash busting train. Well, that's why I'm like, I don't care. Like, if there's not enough contrast, or if colors end up lining up and they're not supposed to, the buy-in that I have for this project is so low, because I'm using all very old stash yarn that literally had no plan for it. So if it's not exactly how I might choose for it to be if I was buying yarn, I won't be nearly as upset as if I had bought yarn and I don't like the way it comes out,
Yeah, I'm hoping that this particular shawl isn't necessarily like a crescent or a semicircle. I'm hoping it might be oblong, because I'd like it to be something I could wear, and because I do want something. I do need a scarf, you know what I mean? And I would want a decent width scarf, but I know it's going to end up being something with frilly edges, you know what I mean?
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, you can never tell with Stephen West, can you? Never. So what about intermission knitting? Have you been,
yes.
I know you've been working on a lot of things, haven't you?
Yes. So I have been working on the Lullaby baby blanket.
Oh, wow. You've done loads.
Yes. I think I have 6 or 7 repeats left. I can't quite remember, but the end is in sight. I'm very excited about that.
Wow.
And then really I have a new project I want to cast on after that. Do you remember the name of it? Neil and I are going to knit a baby,
the baby one.
Baby cardigan.
It was rainbow something, wasn't it?
I was going to say rainbow something. It is the Showered in Rainbows baby sweater. And it has a very interesting construction. And we both just happen to need baby knits at the moment for friends. So
yeah,
you can take me off the big screen now.
No, just going to see how long it took before you realised. Well, I haven't had much in terms of intermission knitting, because I had a bit of a week from hell last week as well, because my mum was rushed into hospital. Everything's fine, by the way. She's out of hospital now, but for quite a few days they didn't know what was wrong with her. They were doing all sorts of tests. They still don't really know what was wrong with her, but they think it was connected to a COPD, and now she's fine. She got new inhaler and everything. So I did a really silly thing on one of the days. Well, it was the day that she was going to be discharged, so I raced up there because she said, "Oh, they're going to discharge me." So I was like, "Get there as soon as possible," because I knew she wanted to go home. And I took my Rujuu, so I thought, I'll be able to sit and knit with that if I have to wait. But in the sort of mess and rush of trying to find a parking space, so I don't know if it's the same for you guys in America, but parking at a hospital takes forever. You literally have to wait for somebody to die and then somebody takes their car away, So in that sort of old panic, I didn't take my knitting in. And then we ended up having to sit there for, I think it was 4 or 5 hours before they let her go. But every time I kept thinking, oh, I'll go to the car and get it out, we kept thinking the consultant was coming, because he would come in, but then he would see somebody else. It wasn't me, you know what I mean? My mum was down the list of people. So I didn't get to knit anything and just spent the whole day bored out of my brain there waiting. So anyway, so that was what was going on. So I didn't have much knitting time other than the Rujuu. But what I've been playing with, and this is going to look really odd because it's not even a prototype. I want to design a vest stroke tank top that's going to be color work, but what I want is for it to be top down in the round. So you can imagine there's a problem there. You've got and I also want it to be a V-neck. So it's like I've picked every possible thing that isn't possible to do, and I want to do it. So I saw a pattern that was knitted from the bottom up, where they put steeks in for the V-neck and for the armholes, but there's, as far as I can find, there's no patterns out there that is top down. So I thought, I'm not doing color work on this. This is literally just my test if it's possible. So I picked yarn that I won't wear anymore. So this is just the top of it, and I've figured out how to do a top down in the round vest. So because we're doing the steeks with Zaneteknits, I was able to kind of use a lot of the information from that, like 7 stitches, to add a steek here. So this is going to be the V-neck, and then what you do as you do the steek on either side, you increase so that you are going from very thin to wider. So it feels like you're doing it the wrong way, but when you cut the steek, it will actually be the right way, if that makes sense. And then here, where I've done ribbing for the steek because I wanted to just show where the difference.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do ribbing for the steek. What
No,
I would recommend,
in the reel.
Yeah, what I recommend is if you have a 7-stitch steek, do a purl at the beginning and a purl at the end. That way you truly don't even need markers if you do that, because you're just gonna, knit to the purl, and then you knit those 5 middle stitches, because then your steek, the reinforcement will go on the knitted stitches. Because I'm not sure how reinforcing between a knit and a purl stitch would work.
Right.
That's going to be the issue you would have. Now, if you did a machine sewn steek reinforcement, you could do a purl, I think. That wouldn't be a problem. But for the crochet reinforcement, it might be possible, but I've not seen it done.
Yeah, I only did the ribbing on this just so I knew that was the steek stitches, because everything else is stocking out. But the thing that I learned as I was doing this is that if you do the pick, so I had to knit the shoulders first flat. So then I've got the question is, do you have sort of, because I kind of think of it a bit like saddle shoulders in a way, but do you have like in flat color work knitting, or do you have plain knitting? Do you do garter stitch instead? So although that bit that goes over the shoulder is going to have to be different in some way, which annoys me, but I just don't think there's any way around that.
I think if you did it solid color, just plain stockinette, something to match whatever you're going to do for the collar, I think it'd be totally fine.
Yeah, I think it'll work. The only other thing I've realized as well is that it's no good picking up stitches, I think, because you can't see here, but sorry, my camera's a bit weird. Can you see that line?
Yeah.
That's the line, because I think that's picking up from a cast on edge, I think it was. So I'm going to have to do it with live stitches, putting it on hold, which I don't like doing personally. I'd rather pick up properly than that, but I will have to.
Have you tried the version where you do the, what is that called? Where it's the live stitches. What is that called? I cannot think of the name of it. Provisional cast on. Where you do the provisional cast on around the barber cord.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it too, but I've never tried it.
I know which one you mean. Yeah, I think the reason why I've never even sort of looked at that much is because I once did what was she called? Kat. She's died now, sadly. There was a Kat Borgie was her name. She has a method of doing the Mobius cowl where you knit off the cable rather than off a needle, and I did do that, and I hated every minute of it. There was just something about the cable.
This wouldn't be the same, because what you're doing the provisional cast on onto the barber cord, and then all you're going to do when you're ready to knit those stitches, you're going to slip the barber cord onto your needle, and you're going to pick up the stitches. So you're picking up like immediately, you know what I mean? Like simple. You're not knitting off of it. So
you're not knitting up, right? So that would be. I'll look into that then and see. So basically now what I've got to do, which is where the headache is getting the sizing. So not, for me as well, because obviously this wouldn't even fit a baby. You know what I mean? It's like I've just done this as a can it be done kind of thing. But I even know the pattern. I've already done the pattern. You've seen that, haven't you? I've got a pattern ready to actually put onto it. So what I want to do is get a chart made. Well, I'll do the chart myself, which is going to be like my template, because I do like what we call tank tops, because I don't always like sleeves, even though Annie says we should be wearing sleeves in this country, but I don't feel the need for sleeves, you know what I mean? So anyway, so that's what I've been doing. So it's kind of been productive mentally, not necessarily productive physically.
Well, that's all right. Tricky Knight says yeah, Laura Nelkin has a great tutorial for that. So I'm assuming she means the provisional cast on a barber cord.
Right. I shall look that one up, definitely. Oh, and going back to the stitch stoppers, Texas Sheep Lady says that she's got stitch stoppers from the 60s. Wow. So they must have gone out of fashion then at some point. Well, knitting went out of fashion, to be honest, didn't it?
Yeah.
But so were they would have been for straight needles probably, wouldn't they, in the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they were the long DPNs, because they definitely used the long DPNs more back then, didn't they? For Ganses and things like that. Like our DPNs are about that big, aren't they? But back in the day, they were really long. So we've talked about Stephen West. We've talked about the Rujuu. We've talked about our intermission knitting. We've talked about our weeks that we've had and
dogs in hospitals and all the things.
Yeah, life and death and all of that. We've covered everything. I don't know what else we've got to mention other than
that might be it.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully be here again next week at the same time. We'll let you know if there's a change. Just a pre-warning, no idea what point either of us will be with this clue. Nope. I suspect Shauna will be done. I suspect I'll be really struggling, because I'll get this clue done, the motif, but I don't know about the next bit. So it is what it is. But what I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I said this earlier, I'm going to get as much of the body done as I can, but I'm not going to worry about it. If I don't get it finished, I will do the next clue, which will presumably be the sleeves, and I'm just going to go back to the body when hopefully we have a breather, because I think the sleeves might be an easy week.
I think it's a lot of knitting.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I don't know.
You're forgetting it's a third of the sweater. We talked about
keep thinking. I just keep thinking about the circumference of the sleeve being so much easier than the circumference of the biggest size.
Yeah, it's just a lot of rows. Because you think about it, so far, we've had clue 3 was a split for the sleeves, 4, and now 5. And so you're going to be doing that much. Well, let's see. Clue 4 was 41 rounds. Clue 5, this part was 18. So, it's a lot of rounds for the sleeve. And then might even need to be longer than the body. I don't know. I have long arms.
I think I've got short arms compared to my torso. I'm a freak. I don't know. What was gonna? Yeah, when Stephen West does the October shawl, somebody, I don't know who it is. I know you've shared it with me, I think, in the past, but somebody does like a countdown of the stitches, don't they? Or do you do that? I can't remember.
A spreadsheet. No, I sure don't, because I like spreadsheets and I'm pretty good at them, but that math is beyond me. That takes a lot of formulas.
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, because I wonder whether Jeanette has worked it out and that's how she knows how much of a clue to give people.
Oh, possibly.
I don't know. But then I don't think there's a lot of math going on, isn't there, with the sweater anyway, so I don't think she's probably got the time to even think about that.
Well, you remember she said she's an engineer and she does love her spreadsheets, so it's very possible she can just do it without really much thinking at all.
Right. Oh, you'll all be pleased to know I didn't contact her with a stupid mistake on my part this week.
Good job.
I laid low. I just got on with it. Just get my mouth shut. So, before we go, everyone's saying to Archer, hope he gets his sweater sorted. Yeah. I hope you can catch up, but don't feel like you have to. You know, as in, don't feel pressured to catch up because of, you know, we're all doing this together. You know, do what you can and show us what you're up to with your new version of it, because we will still show the pictures, even though you might be behind. It doesn't matter. So I think, is that everything for this week? I think it is.
I think that's it. Thank you for joining us.
So
As
what
always,
I'll do is
like, subscribe, comment, and share. And go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I'll sorry, I keep talking over you. I'll replay the video again because I think that worked well last week, and then we'll see you next week.